All right, now you've seen what Grant was able to do with that pack makeover, and you've got to admit, just philosophically, we were able to reduce quite a bit of weight, somewhere around the 8 to 10 pound range. Now, what is it that Grant carries? So enjoy listening and watching as Grant unpacks his backpack for a backcountry adventure.
Alrighty, this is sort of a somewhat standard load for me for most trips, short trips, intermediate trips. I'd probably carry a little bigger pack for a longer trip. This is a model that's not out yet, a version. This is our Gorilla backpack that'll be coming out here in a few weeks. There's a few examples of the current one around the room. This is a little more actually than I usually carry. I was putting this together last night, and there's some redundancies in here, and I thought I would leave it. Since we're talking about trying to get everyone to the 10 to 14 pound range, this is about 12 pounds, 11 or 12 pounds. I'm usually 8 to 10. As we break it down, the first thing I want to talk about is what Philip mentioned earlier, which is carrying a lot of gear on the outside. Typically, I don't put anything inside the pack that I think I'm going to need during the day. Nothing is going in if I need to get to it. So the quick things I'm going to need to get to, the first thing would be a wind shirt or a jacket. This is like a 2 or 3 ounce wind, and it's actually fairly water resistant. It will wet out over time, but if it's just a drizzle, this is plenty. I actually brought a rain jacket as well in case, let's pretend we're in Mount Rainier somewhere. I would put that on the outside as well. This is probably about 10 ounces. It's waterproof, it's breathable, it's outdoor research, a fairly high-end jacket. These two together is maybe 12 ounces, so that is typically more than I would carry. Then the next thing would be my shelter, and this is it other than my trekking poles. This is a tarp. I do a tarp, lately I've been doing a tarp and a bivvy, a combination, and honestly I almost never set it up unless I'm pretty sure it's going to rain. Once you get used to the idea of being out in the sky and being exposed, it's pretty liberating. So I put what amounts to an old cowboy's bedroll out. So I have my stakes in here. I'm using titanium stakes. This is actually a 2-pack of ground sheets. I would only bring 1, but this is 2 ground sheets. So typically I would get this out, put the ground sheet out, put this aside, and that's how I'd start my camp. I've got on the outside left pocket here, I've got a soft-sided bottle if I need to carry a bunch of water to fill up. I've got a straw filter. Sometimes I bring a cup, so I'll put that with my water filtration kit. It's a titanium thing with a little silicone lid. Doesn't weigh very much. This pack has pockets on the hip belts, and I will usually on one side put my camera, little multi-tool, things that I might need during the day, and then the other side probably have a few bars, some snacks, some gorp, whatever I want to eat during the day. Then the other side pocket, that's what I do. Just and maybe if I need to carry 2, I carry 2. I typically drink out of these plastic and reuse them. I like the Smart Waddle ones because they're a little taller, they're a little tougher. Just for fun, I hung a flashlight on this last night. Sometimes I might hang a little bit of gear there. On the top, I've got a 1/8 inch foam pad. This is actually a 3/16 one. I could also, if I wanted to, our packs always have a pad holder pocket on the exterior, on the front of the pack. I have a sit light pad in here. I could fold this up and put it in here and not carry this. This actually makes a great sitting pad. You just fold it and stick it in and it works. And this is a new pack, so I'm kind of getting used to where I'm going to put everything with it. But I put my little sort of personal kit in here. Then inside, we've got the bivvy I was talking about. I brought a bunch of cooking systems today. I understand that you all use a lot of canister stoves, so I brought a canister system. This is my gigantic luxury Neo Air mattress. So then we get into my extra clothes, and I kind of doubled up here a little bit. This is we call it a Rick sack, named after our trail ambassador Rick Christensen, who kind of invented it. It's a stuff sack with little straps on it. It makes a great day pack. So I have in here for my main extra warm layer a down shirt. I have an alpaca beanie hat and some lightweight fleece gloves, sleeping socks, liner socks, either a t-shirt or in this case I was thinking it might be cold out, so I brought like a long sleeve and a pair of just long underwear. And most of the clothes we wear are all these quick drying nylons. I could rinse this out in some water, hang it from a tree and wear it in 3 or 4 minutes. Given that I want to keep everything in the pack totally dry, I use a pack liner bag and it works really well and they're very light. And it's got my quilt in it. This is down and it's got a foot box. So that's pretty much it. I think there's a couple things that I've left out. Boots, I wear tennis shoes. A pair that I brought to show, these are made by Innovate. I know Philip wears them, a few of the other guys wear them. This is a British company. I got the high tops because I don't necessarily like to wear gaiters, but I don't like grit and stuff getting in my shoes. I would just wear regular running shoes as well. Trail runners were going to last longer. For someone like me, my size, a pair of street running shoes are only good for about 300 miles of trail. This is an example of a rain suit that weighs, I think it's under a pound. It is as effective as any other rain gear there is. Probably wouldn't even bring the pants. I'd probably cut it down to about 6 ounces. I often carry a little lumbar pack or fanny pack and wear it, put it on first for my camera and my lunch and all my snacks, then buckle my backpack under it so this lays over the buckle. This is another cheap way to do accessory pockets. How do I feel about camp shoes? I don't have anything against them, but I see people carrying camp shoes that are just insanely heavy. I've seen people make little Tyvek booties. That's a camp shoe. I've seen people carry Crocs. I mean, everyone has to hike their own hike.